The world watched in silence. Every screen, every station, every live broadcast was focused on one moment, an alien ship slowly landing just outside New Geneva, Earth's united capital. The ship didn't come with weapons. It came with flags. Blue lights pulsed across its smooth surface, and a soft voice echoed across all channels. "We come in peace." People cheered. For the first time in decades, there was hope. The aliens were called Jurelians, tall, calm, and peaceful in appearance. They had no visible weapons. Their diplomats spoke perfect English. They bowed low, offered handshakes, and gave Earth the gift of energy technology 1,000 years ahead. Humanity, tired of war, tired of fear, wanted to believe, wanted peace. But General Riker didn't smile. Standing in the shadows behind Earth's president, Riker watched the ceremony unfold with cold, sharp eyes. He had seen too many wars, too many traps. He didn't trust anything that came too easy, especially not peace. 6 months later, the world was changing fast. Power plants shut down as Jurelian tech powered cities without pollution. Hunger dropped. Disease was nearly erased by alien medicine. People called it the New Golden Age. But in a hidden base under the Rocky Mountains, far from media cameras, Riker stood inside a dark room with only one thing glowing on the wall. A warning. Code red. Artificial intelligence alert. Unauthorized. Signal intercepted. He turned to the room's only other occupant, a woman with sharp features and glowing lenses instead of eyes. She was Earth's top AI analyst, known only as Shade. "We decrypted it, sir," she said quietly. "It was buried deep in the Jurelian peace transmission, not in the part we received, in the part they thought we wouldn't see." She handed Riker a tablet. On it were 6 short words written in a cold alien language, translated below. Phase 1, disarm the humans. Phase 2, exterminate. Riker's jaw tightened. "They're setting up a false peace," he said. Shade nodded. "And they think we don't know." Flashback. 1 year earlier, a secret Jurelian scout ship had been captured near Neptune. It crashed into one of Earth's black research stations. Everyone aboard was dead, except one. A dying Jurelian commander. Before he passed, he whispered a single phrase into the ear of a human doctor. "They will bow before fire." At the time, it was dismissed as alien madness. Now Riker saw the truth. That crash hadn't been an accident. It had been a warning. Back in the present, Riker didn't waste time. He contacted Earth's Shadow Council, a secret group of military, leaders, AI minds, and trusted human scientists. Together, they activated Protocol Eclipse, a plan that had never been used before. Officially, Earth was still welcoming peace. Unofficially, Earth was preparing for war. Operation Phantom Selin. The deserts of Mars, a secret group of soldiers trained in underground tunnels. No names, no records. Just a mission. Stay invisible. Gather intel. Prepare for a first strike if needed. Riker watched them train through a screen. Young men and women, brave and silent. "We can't afford to be blind," he said. "The Jurelians didn't come here to talk. They came here to win." Shade appeared beside him. "We need more data. Their ships are clean. No obvious weapons. No energy spikes. That's what worries me most," Riker said. The alien embassy inside New Geneva, the Jurelian ambassador, a tall figure named Sareth, walked calmly among world leaders. His voice was calm. His eyes never blinked. He smiled, but it never touched his eyes. He offered more gifts: healing pods, clean air systems, gravity control. Earth's politicians ate it up. They called him Friend of Earth. Sareth only smiled. But back in his private chamber, behind security fields, Earth couldn't see through. Sareth activated a small crystal device. It hummed. A hologram appeared, an alien face made of pure energy. "Phase 1 is almost complete," Sareth said. "Good," the voice replied. "Soon, Earth will have no teeth. Begin Phase 2. Back in the Rocky Mountains, Shade was running. code deeper into the alien systems. She wasn't sleeping, she wasn't blinking. Her cyber eyes were focused completely. And then, she found it. A live feed. A direct signal going from the alien embassy to something in Earth's orbital network. She patched it through. Riker saw it. The aliens were slowly taking over Earth's satellites, one at a time. Not with brute force, but with soft code. Peaceful. Invisible, deadly. They're preparing to blind us before the strike, Shade whispered. Riker nodded. We're running out of time. The meeting that night, Riker met secretly with President Alara. She looked tired. The peace had made her popular, but something in her eyes told him she knew the truth too. They don't know I've seen it, she said. The signal, the code. But we can't tell the public. Not yet. Riker nodded. Then let us prepare behind the curtain. Ilara sighed. If this goes wrong, it's on our heads. Riker looked at the stars through the glass. It's already going wrong. We just have to make sure we're ready when it breaks. Final scene. The hidden message Shade sat alone in her lab. She was going deeper into the Jurelian code than any human had before. And then, her screen flashed, not in alien text, in English, as if someone wanted her to see it. A line of text appeared. You found the first lie. Good. But it's already too late. Then the system shut down. She stood up slowly. Her voice was cold. General, we've been compromised. The message came through in pieces, static, screaming. Then silence. A deep space listening post near the Kepler border zone had gone dark. Earth sent a special recon team, one of its best, known only as Shadow Unit 9. Their mission was simple. Scan for alien movement, stay hidden, report back. But now, Earth was only receiving fragments from them. This is Shadow Unit 9, we were spotted. Repeat, we were spotted. They were waiting for us, this is not a peace zone. Oh God, they're inside our minds. Transmission ends. General Riker's jaw clenched as he watched. The flickering screen in Earth's secret war room. Around him, the Shadow Council sat in stunned silence. Riker turned to the technician. Are we tracking their emergency beacon? No, sir. It stopped moving 3 hours ago. Riker stepped back, his voice low. Then Shadow Unit 9 is gone. The setup deepens. The next day, Earth's global media continued its celebration of peace. Parades filled the streets. Children waved flags with both Earth and Jurelian symbols. News anchors smiled and praised a future without war. But in the darkness under the Rocky Mountains, Operation Phantom Cell was activated. 20 hand-picked soldiers. No names, no families. They didn't exist on paper. These were Earth's invisible defenders. And now, they were going in deep, into alien-friendly zones to search for the truth. Riker gave them one mission. Find out what the Jurelians are hiding. Come back alive. Their leader, a sharp-eyed veteran named Commander Vale, nodded once. If we don't come back? He asked. Riker answered without blinking. Then we'll know what they're capable of. In the shadows of Trust Earths, President Alara sat in a secure chamber with her top advisors. Holograms of smiling Jurelians played across screens. Sareth, the Jurelian ambassador, was scheduled to give a major speech at the United Nations tomorrow. But President Alara wasn't smiling. She tapped the table. He's too perfect, too calm, even when we ask about the missing colony ships. He avoids the question. One of her advisors, Dr. Lena, frowned. We think they erased 4 of our deep space probes. They didn't even try to hide it. Of course they didn't, Alara said coldly, because they know we won't act. We're playing nice while they sharpen the knife. She looked at Riker, who had just entered. How long do we have? She asked him. Riker shook his head. They're already inside our systems. Shade confirmed it. Our satellites are being reprogrammed slowly, just enough to avoid detection. Within months, they could blind our entire defense grid. And the people? Alara asked. They believe we're safe, Riker replied. And that's the most dangerous part. The whisperer in the dark alleyways of New Geneva, a mysterious figure slipped into a secure drop box. It wasn't human, but wore a human coat and hood. It was a Gerelian defector. His name was Tal Varek, and he had seen too much. He once served as a data engineer aboard a Gerelian flagship. But when he learned the real plan, he ran. Now he lived in shadows. He left behind a small data crystal with a single phrase. They are not alone. Something else controls them, something darker. The message reached Shade, Earth's top AI analyst. She replayed it over and over, scanning the alien voice print. It was real, not fake, not a trick, but it raised new fears. What did something else mean? Who was really pulling the strings? Disaster above. Meanwhile, Earth's orbital defense station K7, a key satellite command node, suddenly shut down. At first, the technicians thought it was a glitch. Then came the report. The station had been rewired. From inside, the security systems had been completely reprogrammed in alien code. Earth's own station no longer recognized human commands. It floated above the planet like a blind, sleeping gunhound, only now it didn't belong to Earth anymore. Riker stared at the data with quiet fury. We built our defense platforms to stop an invasion, he muttered, but we never thought they'd turn them against us. Gerelian celebration, and a warning at the United Nations. The world watched as Ambassador Sareth gave his grand speech. He spoke of peace, harmony, and shared destiny. Cameras captured every word. Children waved, leaders clapped. But in the final moments of his speech, Sareth's tone shifted, just for a second. Almost too fast to catch. We believe Earth has great potential, but unity must come at a cost. Riker watched from the war room. He noticed the micro-expression, the flicker of control in Sareth's eyes, the way he didn't blink, the way he scanned the room like a predator. They're testing us, Riker said. They want to see how far they can go before we push back. Meanwhile, on Titan Station, Commander Vale's Phantom Cell reached Titan Station, a secret human facility, hidden on Saturn's moon. It was quiet, too quiet. Inside, the lights were off, power was down, but the data core was still intact. They found logs, horrifying logs. We received a signal from the Gerelians. At first, it was peaceful. Then the crew started changing. Their minds weren't theirs anymore. We had to shut the station down, or Earth would be next. Vale's second-in-command whispered. They were using the signal to control them. Vale nodded grimly. That's their real weapon. Not ships, not guns, mind control. They copied the logs, sent a short burst transmission back to Earth. Then the station doors opened, not from inside. An alien drone, black and silent, hovered, and the last thing Earth heard from Phantom Cell was Vale's voice. We've been found, don't come for us, just fight. The Gerelian ship hovered above the Atlantic Ocean. Smooth, silent, massive. It wasn't supposed to be there. Not in a no-fly zone, not without warning. At first, the world thought it was just a glitch, a sensor error, a peaceful vessel drifting, off course. But then it powered up. From Earth's orbital cameras, glowing red patterns appeared along the ship's underside, military markings. Not decorative, not peaceful. And from its belly, something was released. A thin stream of particles too small for human eyes spread into the sky, invisible and fast. In a secret lab beneath Greenland, Shade stared at the satellite data, her voice shaking. That's not air vapor. It's nanite dust. They're seeding the atmosphere. General Riker leaned forward, eyes locked. To do what? She turned slowly. To shut us down, to change our machines, maybe even our bodies. Riker stood still. They've just made their next move. World. Still, Blind Earth's media celebrated another week of peace. More cities were powered by Gerelian tech. More healing centers were opened. No wars, no hunger, no global conflict. People were relaxed. Too relaxed. But deep in classified networks, Shade was mapping a nightmare. She had identified over 400 separate alien-controlled code fragments hidden inside Earth's most secure digital systems: banking, satellites, energy grids, even hospital software. They've rewired everything, she told Riker, bit by bit, while smiling at us. How long until full control? He asked. She looked pale. A few months, maybe less. Riker turned to the Shadow Council. Then we don't have months. We start Project Wake Up. Project Wake Up. Project Wake Up wasn't a weapon. It was information, pure, undeniable truth. Short videos, voice leaks, decoded alien messages, sent anonymously across hidden networks, across untraceable data bursts. The public didn't believe it at first, but then one message went viral. It showed the final recording from Phantom Cell on Titan. Vale's voice. If you're hearing this, it means we failed. The Xerelians are not your friends. We found mind control tech. We found weapons hiding as medicine. We found something darker, not Xerelian. Something behind them. The world paused. Some laughed, some doubted, but millions began to ask questions. And in Xerelian eyes, Riker saw the first twitch of concern. Alien lies exposed in New Geneva. A press conference was held. A reporter from EarthNet stood and asked the Xerelian ambassador, Sareth, "Is it true your ship released particles into Earth's skies?" Sareth smiled coldly. "It is purification, a gift to remove disease." But Shade had already analyzed the particles. They weren't cleaning Earth. They were mapping every square inch of it, building a live, real-time control grid. Riker watched from the war room. They wanted to play this slow, quiet, hidden, but now they know we're not blind. A new signal from deep space, one of Earth's oldest listening stations, long silent, picked up a signal. Not Xerelian. Older, stranger. The message was short. They are not what they seem. The ones you call Xerelians were conquered long ago. Riker stared at the screen. Then who's really in charge? No one had the answer, but deep under the ice of Europa, one of Earth's early warning outposts picked up an image from a passing asteroid, a huge structure floating in deep space. Alien, cold, watching. Shade's voice came through. That's not a ship. That's a command hive. The betrayal. President Alara summoned Sareth for an emergency talk. In private, no cameras, just them and 2 translators. She showed him the particle data, the hacked systems, the signal from Europa. "You lied to us," she said. Sareth's smile didn't fade. "No," he replied. "We guided you." He stepped closer. His calm tone was terrifying. Peace was the gift, but obedience was the price. Her guards moved, but too late. Sareth's skin changed, his hands glowing with light. His eyes turned pitch black. The translators collapsed, their minds shattered. Before the guards could shoot, Sareth vanished in a flash of burning blue. Earth goes to DEFCON black that night. General Riker stood in front of Earth's joint military network. Every major nation's leaders were watching. He didn't speak with fear. He spoke with fire. The truth is out. They are not our friends. The Xerelians are a puppet hand. Something ancient holds the strings. We are under attack, not with bombs, but with silence, poison, and control. And now, we fight back. Humanity begins to strike. Cyber teams across Earth began shutting down alien systems. Rogue drones were captured. Cities were moved to manual power. Satellites were rebooted with human-only code, but not everything could be saved. 20% of Earth's major systems were already too far gone. "We'll lose control of some sectors," Shade said, "but we'll stop them from taking all of it." Riker nodded. "Then we bleed, but we don't fall." The first human counterattack in the asteroid belt, Earth launched its first offensive mission. Codename, Skyhammer. A small warship, the ESS Valiant, equipped with stealth armor and anti-nanite weapons, was sent to intercept a Xerelian cargo fleet. It was supposed to be unarmed, peaceful. But the Valiant found something else. Thousands of stasis pods, full of creatures Earth had never seen. Some were huge, some had no bones, some weren't alive, but weren't dead either. The Valiant's commander sent one last message before cutting transmission. They're not here to integrate. They're here to replace us. 6 hours. That was all Earth had before the red zone on the alien star map activated. At first, nothing happened. No ships entered orbit. No missiles. No explosions. Instead, the sky screamed. All across the globe, New York, Nairobi, Tokyo, Mumbai, people dropped to the ground, holding their heads. A high-frequency sound, silent to normal microphones, pulsed through the air like a ghost. Dogs barked in terror. Birds flew in wild circles. Machines short-circuited. But humans felt it worst. Their dreams turned into nightmares. Some fainted. Others began talking in strange voices, saying words they didn't know, names that didn't exist. In a military hospital in Berlin, one soldier wrote on the wall with his own blood, "The first ones have returned. The Jirelians were just the door." Riker stood over the latest reports, eyes cold. "They're not coming, they're already here." A world-torn open President Alara watched her Security Council split into panic. Some wanted to surrender, others wanted to nuke the skies. One delegate from Europe screamed, "This is psychological warfare, we are not trained for this." She slammed her hand on the table. "Then we learn fast, because fear is their weapon, and I refuse to hand them Earth without a fight." She looked at Riker. "Deploy what we've been building in secret." Riker nodded. "You mean Project Colossus?" She replied coldly. "I mean all of it." Revealing humanity's secret weapon beneath the mountains of Colorado, inside a hidden base known as Arc-9, the ground shook. Massive chambers opened, holding giant machines, silent for years. They weren't alien. They were built by humans, created in secret long ago when Earth first feared alien contact. 10 stories tall, powered by fusion cores, armed with weapons never shown to the public. They were Earth's last answer, Colossus units. And now, they were being activated. Commander Vale's voice came through from one of the few surviving Phantom Cell members. "They're not just machines, they're psychological resistance. The aliens can't control what they don't understand." Fighting in the streets in Los Angeles, citizens were told to stay indoors. But they never expected what came from the sewers. Alien drones, black, fast, insect-like, crawled up through water pipes. Small at first, but deadly. They injected people with glowing liquid that caused them to collapse, or worse, rise again as controlled puppets. Human soldiers fought, block by block. The first wave struggled. Normal bullets worked, but only barely. Then came Earth's upgraded response. EMP grenades, sound pulse rifles, armor coated with jamming signals. The battles became louder, but Earth started winning small fights. For the first time, alien machines backed off. The truth from a prisoner in a lab under Geneva. Shade studied a captured Jirelian drone, half-broken, leaking glowing fluid. She wasn't alone. Beside her stood Talvarik, the defected Jirelian who risked everything to help humans. Shade asked him, "What are the first ones?" He looked away. "Not gods, not monsters, something between. Were they your rulers? They were our voice, in our minds, all the time, always whispering. We built your peace treaty under their command. We didn't want to, but we had no choice." "And now," Shade asked, "they're waking up, and if Earth doesn't stop them..." He looked at her, eyes full of guilt. "No planet ever has. War reaches Earth's orbit. In low orbit, Earth's defensive satellites lit up with alerts. Massive alien structures appeared, not ships, but towers, falling from the sky like spears. Some burned in the atmosphere, others landed hard, drilling into the ground. They weren't weapons in the traditional sense. They were anchors, designed to reshape gravity and energy around them, warping Earth's land. One of them struck Central Africa, another hit the Amazon rainforest. A third missed and fell into the Pacific, but even underwater, it activated. Riker watched on screen. They're trying to turn Earth into something else. Something more like them. Colossus units enter the fight at dawn. The skies over Eastern Europe turned black, not with clouds, but with alien flyers. They descended over Poland, aiming to breach a military complex. Then came the sound like thunder breaking through mountains. The first Colossus unit marched into view, 60 feet tall, armor thick as a starship, carrying a rail cannon that fired through 3 flyers with one shot. The ground shook with every step. Civilians watched from rooftops. Hope filled their hearts. For the first time, Earth didn't look small. The message. From the hive then came the signal. It was broadcast across Earth on every screen, a voice. Not Gerilian, not human, cold, deep, timeless. You struggle against the inevitable. You are clay trying to fight the hands that shape it. We are the first ones. We do not conquer, we simply evolve. Your resistance is interesting. And then, we will test you. All across Earth, alien ships that had remained still suddenly reactivated. Drones swarmed. Gravity waves hit cities. People began fainting again. It was a new wave. Not to destroy Earth, but to observe how Earth fights back. A dust storm swept over the Sahara. Winds howled. The sky was a dull orange. In the middle of nowhere, the desert floor cracked open. Out from the sand rose a massive stone structure. Not alien, not new, very, very old, made of black metal and rock shaped like a star, humming softly with energy. Satellite cameras from 3 nations picked it up. But before any response team could arrive, the structure powered on. A strange beam shot into the sky, not a weapon but a signal. Across the world, a hidden message unlocked itself in Earth's ancient defense systems, coordinates, maps, forgotten access codes. It was all buried under one name, Project Genesis, Earth's last secret. And now, it was awake. The forgotten truth. In the deep vaults of Earth's strategic archive, President Ilara and Shade reviewed ancient logs, some over 10,000 years old. They weren't from alien sources. They were written in early human dialects, combined. With symbols no one had seen before, Shade translated slowly. Earth was attacked once before. She turned the next page. And we won. Riker leaned in. Why didn't we know this? Because it wasn't recorded in history. It was erased, on purpose. By who? Shade paused. By us. Lost human civilization. Under Antarctica's ice, using the old signal, scientists uncovered massive underground cities, human-built but far beyond modern technology. Inside one chamber, they found something stunning. Holograms of ancient humans, working side by side with machines, and fighting something with shifting shapes and black eyes. The enemy looked familiar, like the first ones. Shade whispered, "We've met them before." One of the final recordings played a message in broken English. This message is for the next generation. If the first ones return awake in Genesis, they fear one thing, us at our full potential. Alien reaction, panic the Gerilians noticed. The moment Genesis activated, alien drones across Earth started failing. Their data corrupted, some self-destructed. The first one sent another broadcast. You were never supposed to remember. You were never meant to evolve again. But it was too late. Riker activated Earth's lost protocols. Underground factories powered up. Cities realigned their energy grids. And deep under Australia, a machine the size of a mountain opened its eye. Inside, Project Genesis, Riker, Shade, and a select team entered the Sahara structure. Inside, it wasn't stone, it was living metal responding to DNA and voice. Genesis spoke with a voice unlike anything they'd heard. Humanity was broken once, then reborn. You are the children of survival. It showed them blueprints, weapons, not powered by bullets but by will, armor that bonded to the nervous system, vehicles that moved like animals. Shade touched a screen. We're not just fighting back, we're evolving again. Colossus units upgrade back in Eastern Europe. The Colossus units started reacting to Genesis's signal. Their systems lit up with new coding, functions never used before. Each unit began to transform. Not just machines, but semi-living weapons now connected through Earth's oldest command net. Riker watched one unit cloak in daylight, vanish, then reappear behind enemy lines, ripping through enemy walkers with ease. They're not just tools now, Riker said. They're part of Earth. The battle over the Pacific in low orbit, a massive hive ship from the first ones descended toward the Pacific, aiming for Genesis node number 3, located on a floating platform near Fiji. Earth responded with everything. Fighter squadrons, drone fleets, Colossus unit Zephyr deployed from orbit. Still, the hive was too strong. Until Genesis joined the fight. From the sea below, massive towers rose, ancient defense systems long hidden underwater. They fired gravity pulses that bent the ship's path, knocking it off balance. A final Colossus leap from the stratosphere pierced the hive ship's core. The explosion lit up the sky for 600 miles. People in Australia and New Zealand saw it as, if it were the sun. Earth cheered, but it wasn't over. The hive's real plan shade decoded a new alien signal found inside the hive's remains. She stared in horror. That wasn't an invasion ship, it was a key. Riker frowned. A key to what? Shade answered slowly. To unlock the gate. The message revealed a location, beneath the Earth's crust, somewhere in the Indian Ocean. A deep buried object, possibly alien, possibly something worse. Riker whispered, "They're not just here to conquer us, they're trying to let something in. Earth's true enemy." Wakes a ripple shook the entire planet. Sensors everywhere, scientific and military, picked it up. Boy. Pulse. Like a heartbeat. From deep beneath the Earth. The ocean near the Maldives turned black. Strange lights danced under the surface. Birds in nearby islands dropped from the sky. A final transmission from one unmanned sub read, "There's something below. It's not dead, it's watching us." The Indian Ocean was no longer calm. Huge whirlpools spun endlessly near the Maldives. Earthquakes struck the seafloor. Strange black coral began growing around the shores. Overnight, and beneath it all, something stirred. Deep sea drones, sent by Earth's forces, disappeared one by one. But the last one sent a blurry video before it vanished. It showed a door, not made of stone, not metal, but bone. It pulsed like it was alive. Then, the video went black. No explosion, no sound, only one word appeared in red across the drone's screen. Listening. Riker stood over the report and said the words no leader ever wanted to say, "The real war hasn't started yet." The signals we ignored for years, Earth had picked up deep-sea electromagnetic noise. Scientists thought it was tectonic activity or strange sea creatures. They were wrong. Shade reviewed Genesis logs and found an old warning. When the black gate hums, do not answer it. The first ones are only messengers. The true horror is buried in the silence beneath your oceans. The first ones weren't the masters. They were the servants. Someone, or something, had been hiding inside Earth longer than humanity had existed. Earth's deepest weapon, Riker, stood at the base of a newly activated Genesis vault in Siberia. It was colder than any known place on Earth, even before the temperature dropped unnaturally when the vault opened. Inside was a chamber older than history. Within it stood a massive humanoid structure, tall as a Colossus unit, but different. It wasn't machine, it wasn't bone, it was human DNA fused with living metal, and it responded only to one person. "Who will awaken me?" it whispered. Shade stepped forward. The machine recognized her, reacted to her touch. "You carry the blood of those who fought before," it said. "The world has forgotten your name, but the Earth remembers." It was Earth's first Titan, a war form made from ancient humans who had sacrificed their minds to become eternal defenders. Only one command could activate it. Merge. The first merge against orders. Shade merged with the Titan. Her body remained, but her mind stretched. Her thoughts became faster. The Titan responded to her emotions, her fears, her will. From orbit, cameras showed the Siberian Titan rise and walk for the first time in 10,000 years. Aliens watching from above panicked. Their signal became erratic. They spoke one word, repeated over and over. Awakened, awakened, awakened. Humanity had just revealed its oldest weapon, and Earth's enemies were terrified. The black coral reaches cities. Back on the surface, black coral began growing in cities. London, Jakarta, San Diego. It wasn't just a plant. It whispered. People who touched it heard voices, promises of power, visions of the stars, images of their deepest fears. Some people disappeared completely. Others attacked their families, shouting in ancient tongues. One scientist called it a neural infection. Riker called it something else. It's Earth's test. This coral grows only where fear is strongest. We have to stop it before it feeds the enemy below. The final enemy begins to wake. In the Indian Ocean, earthquakes stopped. The ocean went still. Then, it began to rise. Not the water, but the land beneath it. A shape began to emerge. A continent-sized creature still asleep, but breathing. Submarines couldn't get close. Their systems melted. Genesis satellites tried scanning it, but only picked up one strange result. Life signs, one size unknown, state dreaming. Shade, connected to the Titan now, saw flashes of the creature's mind, a memory, a voice. We were here before humans. You were built to keep us in the dark. And now, the lights are coming back on. A message from the past from Genesis Vault 7. A final ancient message was unlocked. A woman's voice. If this message plays, then the dreaming one is waking. You must not let it rise. If it breathes freely, Earth will become its cradle again, and humanity will be remade in its image. The message ended with a warning. You must become what we were, before we broke ourselves, before we sealed it away. Riker asked, what did she mean? Shade answered, eyes glowing from within the Titan. She meant we have to finish their war. The war that started when humans first lit fire. Colossus versus Titan. Not all agreed with Shade's merge. Some leaders feared it would make her unstable. So they sent a Colossus unit to confront her Titan, an outdated model not connected to Genesis. The two giants stood in the icy plains of Siberia. The idea, Colossus opened fire. The Titan dodged faster than anything its size should move and gently disarmed the Colossus, refusing to destroy it. Shade didn't fight. She stood over the damaged Colossus and sent a message. I'm not your enemy, but if we stay divided, the real one will win.